The following podcast contains spoilers and profanity. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Half and Half podcast. I'm your host Glenn Walker, and with me as always is MarsReviews.
Fuck the other half and half guy. That guy's lame. The guy that owns the Half and Half podcast, we will be sending a cease and desist.
There are other half and half podcasts. There's the half plus half podcast. We see you guys. Stop it.
I wonder if we can get. It'd be pretty epic if we can get him on. Like we just like ask him like, "Hey, bro."
Just to ask a random person who has the same name as us. It's just, hey, you want to be on our podcast?
His fucking channel is such a crock of shit. It's just like him fixing like, this is how you change a tire.
Life hack, this is how you change a light bulb.
There's no fucking podcast on this entire channel.
What a liar.
But he is a fucking fraud. Half and Half podcast, official YouTube channel. Fuck you, you're a fraud.
Alright. I don't think we want him on our podcast then if you're gonna berate him like this. Alright.
I wanna fist fight him for the name. Like you know, like that one guy, what was his name, that did all those shitty movies and fought those critics?
Uwe Boll?
Uwe Boll. I would do that shit. I'd fight him in a ring for the name of Half and Half so we can have the channel.
Alright, well, okay. Well, we're not talking about other half and halves today. Today we're talking about the good old Solo Star Wars story, trademark.
My favorite franchise, Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. This is the 2018 film, very polarizing. A lot of these films recently have been very polarizing. People do not like films that are coming out.
No, people are tired of these movies, and I kind of agree with them. These movies are being Marvelized, but unlike Marvel movies, they are not good. All right, it's really after like Solo, which what we're talking about. We're talking about the new Star Wars Solo movie starring a white guy. I don't know his name.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Where does this guy come from?
I think he's a new actor. I haven't seen him in anything. I think he was in Hail Caesar. I think.
Oh, a Coen Brothers movie.
I haven't seen that movie in forever though. Coen Brothers. It's a good movie. It's not the best. It's not their best movie. It's fine.
Not their best movie, but it's actually probably one of the shittiest ones that they made. Like comparison.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, for Coen Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this since we're already on the topic of actors. Let's go through these guys one by one. So we already mentioned Alden Ehrenreich. He's the Han Solo.
He's Han Solo. He's actually not terrible.
He's not terrible. Everyone thought he was gonna be terrible. And personally, I myself didn't think he was gonna be horrible. I thought he would be like kind of iffy, especially hearing the news that he apparently had to take acting classes, like during the filming. That's a big no-no. That's a big ooh.
How many times do we hear that about like just actors in general? Like, hey, fuck, you suck.
We gotta get you acting classes. We usually never hear that. Which, I mean, damn.
Dang.
But he was all right. I rather enjoyed him. He was not the worst aspect of this film. He was actually rather good as playing a young sort of smuggler Han Solo. I didn't really care for the fact that he didn't really have that sort of smuggler attitude. He was kind of a nice guy for a majority of the film. Like, he never had that jaded or cynicism, I guess.
I guess he can't be that. I guess he would have to be like hardened to become that kind of character. So it's like, whatever. He's a little bit of a nice kiss ass.
Yeah, I'm happy he didn't do a direct impersonation of Harrison Ford though. Like, I'm really happy about that because I thought it was gonna be like, oh hey kid, like something like that.
I was kind of surprised they didn't do that too because like fucking Donald Glover just does an impersonation of just like Billy D. Williams. Like, it's just like, it's not even like terrible, but like it's just like really weird seeing one character trying to impersonate what the older one is and one just going for something completely different. It's just like, wow.
I mean, me personally, I can totally see Lando, like the character, talking like that even at like a young age, trying to like act kind of all sort of macho and cool.
You just think that he's like kind of retarded. Like, why are you talking like that, dog? You're like 20. You're like 22 or whatever. What we define ages in like the Star Wars universe. Like, why are you talking like you're like 40 years old and you're about to like fuck a secretary?
He's not 40. Like Lando isn't like 40. He's probably like
I know
early.
He's
early
talking
30s.
like he is. He's talking like
No, even Billy D. Williams, he's not like 40. Like I didn't imagine what that's what the character
old.
was.
He's
He's
like,
old.
what?
He's old. Obviously, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying like even back then he was probably like in his mid 30s.
He's not in his mid 30s. He's been in the game for at least like he's a 20-year vet in like the year of like smuggling drugs or children. What does he smuggle?
He smuggles everything.
So he smuggles children.
Probably not. I wouldn't imagine.
You said everything.
I don't know.
Everything was off the table.
Everything aside from like the. I mean, he's still a good guy in the end. But we'll get to that, I guess. All right.
He smuggles alien children, not human children.
I thought Donald Glover. I thought he did a pretty good job as Lando. I think he was probably one of my favorite parts of the film.
I thought he would have like a lot more like epic moments, but like he just kind of just gets shot after his SJW robot and.
All right, we'll get to that.
He's just like, my arm. It's dang, that kind of hurt. It doesn't really look like a bat. That's the one thing I don't like with like Star Wars. Like they're like real bullets have over like Star Wars ones is that the ones like they're lasers, so they like kind of just burn or like cauterize shit if they fly off or like things come off. Like getting shot by like real bullets, just like I can feel that because it's like actually penetrating your skin and blood.
It's inside your skin or go through your skin.
This one just looks like, you fucking, like, nid me.
You singed me.
I got, like, first-degree burns.
Damn. Which is funny because, like, in most Star Wars, like, just in general, like, blaster shots usually are, like, one-hit kills. Depending, like, at this point. But,
yeah, it's just kind of like, you know, we can't have the black guy get shot. And also, you know.
Oh, well, we'll get to one thing about that. All right. Okay, so let's talk about Emilia Clarke. She was the girlfriend Kira with a Q.
I did not give a shit about her, but I gave a shit like the behind the scenes stuff that she would talk about. That was like I found really interesting. Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this. What's going on?
It was really funny. So apparently Emilia Clarke was I think she was like she was in Terminator Genesis.
Yes,
like, she played like a main role.
I think she was Sarah Connor. I don't know.
And there was like I was listening to another podcast and they're like talking and I found like the article where like she was working on Genesis and the set for Genesis was fucking garbage.
Yeah,
and
but
that Fantastic Four cast was like right across the street or something and they were just like making fun of them.
The Fantastic Four remake that came out in 2014, they had during the production they made T-shirts that says at least we're not Terminator Genesis, which that's pretty funny coming from that movie because that movie sucks ass.
Like fuck! Imagine getting bullied by
the fucking Fantastic Four by fucking Alex Trek, whatever the fuck his name was.
Josh Trank.
Josh Trank, whatever.
Josh Trank just like shitting on you, like wow, nice set.
At least we're not you fucking idiot. Like while he's going insane in the trailer.
It's like two bums fighting over like a piece of meat. It's like, you guys are both like financial bombs, and like Fox or whatever owns you is like ashamed of your existence. Yet one has a superiority like complex like about them.
That's pretty good. But, I thought she was pretty alright. Like she was like, you know, she was the love interest obviously, but she kind of had this like broken like attitude about her because you know she's basically like a slave to this guy.
I felt like if the whole thing was supposed to be like, I don't think it was really like they were just being really subtle that she's like a double crosser, but like she was okay. You know, she kind of reminded me of like a fucking like Bond character.
Yeah, I could see that a lot.
I got like that whole feel from this like the end of it just ends up being like what like Skyfall or some fucking 007 movie where it's like, oh, she double crossed us or did some shit like that.
It didn't really feel like that to me. Well, it was like she didn't completely strike me as like, oh god, I'm going to stab you in the back. Like,
she struck me that way. It just goes like, oh hey, it's our childhood friend who
I haven't seen in forever.
And she's back, and she's not like depressed. And
she's really hot now. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's just like she's doing pretty well for herself. She's on this like big ship full of mobsters and shit. Like, she's not evil.
All right.
It was pretty obvious. Like, she's gonna be a fucking bitch later on. It's
all right. Well, next up we have Woody Harrelson. He played Beckett
Isn't he like the fucking old guy, like the old asshole in like Hunger Games?
Yeah.
He's really good at that role, playing like the old, like, I've been in the game for like 30 years kind of like
he typically plays his character in things like Zombieland and Hunger Games.
He does his Woody Harrelson stick. He goes like, "Listen, kid, you don't know what you're getting into."
Yeah, he does typically do that. But yeah, I thought he was pretty alright.
He did a good job. Like, he was probably the best actor, I think, in like the whole movie. His character was kind of weird at the end.
Yeah.
And then there's Chewbacca, and it's like Chewbacca didn't really do fuck all in the movie, but like he was cool.
He was probably my favorite character aside from Lando, actually.
He was just like, Han, let me free the slaves, and Han's like, no, you have to leave them behind.
That's another character.
Oh, we're forgetting our favorite character. What's her name?
L3, played by
PlayStation.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
It's time to go no bullshit on this one.
Oh,
SJWs are ruining Star Wars.
I mean, look, I don't want to ride on a bandwagon because of everything. Like everyone's bitching about Last Jedi, which are like, oh god, all these women characters, they are so terrible.
There was that was like a problem, and you know, like that wasn't really that much of a problem. I didn't really think about it like that. I thought about like when everyone would say like SJWs are ruining Star Wars, they'd point out that one bitch with like the crazy hair.
Yeah, the pink hair lady. She was literally one of the worst characters in the movie, though.
She was one of the worst characters in the movie, and I don't even think that she even fits like the whole thing like that. But like she just has like a weird haircut that no one in Star Wars ever had.
It's like pink, it's swirly, it's kind of a wavy, like 50s kind of look.
It's just like when you think of like stereotypical like shit, you're like, oh, that kind of haircut. But like this one is fucking takes the cake and like terrible. This is like this is if not the worst character in like Star Wars at all. At least when I was like a kid, you know, I could laugh at Jar Jar because I'm like 5 and I'm an idiot. But like this, I can't even laugh at. This is fucking awful.
But yeah, she was not a very good character, and I guess that kind of goes strong with this character. We're talking about L3. She was a robot. She was a robot. She was I guess the word is like she was a feminist robot, which doesn't make any sense to me personally.
My biggest problem with like this character is, and I have a problem. You can say this about like a lot of people, but like this one specifically, you can cut them out of the entire movie, and none of the events change.
Yeah, because I think like a lot of people have mentioned about this movie is just like it's kind of a Rogue One where, you know, this movie doesn't need to exist to be like people kind of know, people can kind of fill in the blanks, and like either most of the new characters they introduced either go away or die, and I mean, so it's like they gotta fill one or the other.
Then this character is just like, it doesn't even like work in the end because like, okay, so what they do is this fucking like feminist robot thing is like trying to liberate the like robots that are like in slavery, and then like she's like, look, Lando, I'm freeing my slaves or people.
This is my purpose.
Hey Lando, remember when you guys were free? This is our time. And then she gets fucking eats shit and gets hit in the head with a laser.
Like I didn't roll my eyes or cringe very hard at this movie, and I was very surprised by that. But one of the lines she said was just the worst fucking thing I've ever heard. Was Lando's like, all right, I'm gonna go in the back of the ship. Tell me if you need anything. She's like, equal rights.
It's like who wrote this character? Because like this movie has been like thrown around for like many writers and like directors. Like, did Phil Lord and Chris Miller write this character, or did Ron Howard write this? Who made this character?
I don't know. I don't know.
It just seems like a character that someone would like, a fan would put in like their own like character. Like
it feels like a role play character, like that's someone you like bring to a D&D game who's like not affiliated with the game at all, and they just want to like have their own personal views in it.
Yeah. But biggest problem with it at the end is like, okay, so the character dies and Lando's like, no, my robot, no. It's like a real emotional scene for it. I'm just kind of like, I hated that character. Don't bring her back.
No,
not in any capacity.
No, it's good she died.
No, thank God. She was terrible. Like Jar Jar was better.
Jar Jar was a better character.
Yeah, this is actually the worst character in like all of Star Wars. No hyperbole. Like, this character is fucking, like, it's just cringy. Like, Jar Jar is cringy, but, like, you know, for what he is, he does his job well. Like, kids are supposed to like him. That's kind of like what his creation, at least to me, was just like, oh, he's supposed to entertain like 5-year-olds.
Hey, he's a funnier character than we've ever had.
He's a comic relief, and he gets his job done for like.
Yeah, he's super racist in the Phantom Menace, and then they fixed his character in the expanded shit, like the cartoons, and they made him not like terrible.
Yeah, but like this one is like no kid is gonna get any of the jokes,
no boy or girl is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna miss that robot.
Or like, and no adult is like like really stupid people. I would just clarify as like really stupid people would just like they'll laugh at it, but like they'll think it's funny, but like it. Come on, man, this is fucking terrible.
It sucks because she had a pretty alright design. I like the robot design at least. That's the only redeeming thing about her that I kind of like. That's it though.
I think like the worst thing about her is that like they do bring her back. Like they bring her back. Like, can you hook up her head to like the ship? And it goes like and like they do, and it's like, oh, so she is kind of alive in some sort of way.
She lives in some way.
But then, like, at the end, the fucking Han just takes his, like, ship, like, hey, win this in the bet, give me your ship. So, like, Han basically cucks Lando. Because, like, they say that Lando is, like, pansexual, which is completely bullshit.
That has nothing to do with anything.
They have nothing to do with anything, but they do, like, slightly allege that Lando might want to fuck the robot. Or, like, the robot wants to fuck Lando or something. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
If that is true, then that means Han cucked Lando out of his own ship, and that's why he's super bitter about it. You fucked my wife, basically.
All right. Well, enough of that. All right. Let's get into. I guess do we want to talk about like the history of this for like a second? I mean, everyone's been talking about this. Like originally, you know, the directors of 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they wanted to direct it, and then for whatever reason, they just got kicked out. And now it's being directed by Ron Howard.
They wanted to make a good movie, and then like they were. Just,
what, I mean, would they? I mean, looking at interviews, like even like Donald Glover says, like yeah, they were okay. Like they didn't.
I don't know. That's a big question. Is like I don't know who holds like the highest level of accountability for like this movie. I don't think. First off, I haven't really stated how I really feel about the movie. I think it's kind of pointless. But it's just kind of a pointless film. Like, I don't really need a movie displaying, like, why Han Solo is who he is. Yeah. I don't feel like I need this. I already kind of get the gist and, like, who the fuck he is by, like, New Hope or whatever. Or what the first one was.
Yeah, New Hope. Yeah, it was New Hope. He wasn't in any of the prequels.
Like, he kind of just goes through his own shit. Like, you know, for the first one,
he's a mysterious character.
Yeah, I feel like once you add answers to that, it makes this character a lot less. I don't know. Less interesting.
I don't know. I was open to the fact of like knowing a bit more of his backstory because I do kind of like some of the expanded universe stuff. I guess we can get into some of this now. Like, you know, he's on Corellia. That's his home planet. You know, he had a girlfriend, whatever. He's already working with like mobs and shit, boosting rides. You know, he gets separated from his girlfriend, and then a thing I liked is like he joins the Empire, and like that's the thing from the comics. Like that's something I kind of liked about that.
That's cool, but like I don't like how they gave him his name. It's so corny.
Oh yeah, he's at the Sith Border Patrol. And he's like, okay, what's your last name, dude? He's like, I don't got a last name. It's like, oh, so you're alone? Oh, so you're Han Solo.
I don't think any person would. I know that the Empire standards are just like, hey, if you have like at least 2 legs and like half of a functioning brain, you can be in the army. But like, I feel like you need a last name, like say your name.
So is there like 1,500 people with the name Solo because they don't have a last name?
Yeah. Well, what if it was like middle names? It'll be like, what's your middle name? And like, oh, fucking Hispanics will be out of luck. What's your middle name? It's like, I
don't got one. It's like,
all right, so
your name is Juan Nothing Garcias.
So your name is Miguel, Idiot Garcia. Oh, Idiose or something. How do you say?
That's right. But I think the one thing I liked about this film is like it kind of subverted my expectations, which I typically don't have too many. Like I kind of expected it to just be kind of an okay. Like a lot of people when predicting this film thought it would be a giant train wreck, and they're kind of like right in the sense that like
it subverted your expectations by being decent.
Yes, it's because I subverted my it subverted my expectations by not being what people said it was.
Okay.
Or what it was going to be, because I think I've noticed a frequent trend recently of people just kind of bitching about things like this. Like, you know, people would like complain about, oh my god, Infinity War, well, you got all these characters, Ready Player One, oh my fucking god, and then
Ready Player One in retrospect now.
Ready Player One makes a little bit more sense, even though it's you know, it's a fine film, it's alright.
Infinity War is like, okay, I can get some of the skepticism. I still do.
It's okay to like speculate, but it's like when you like push it up and you have this expectation, you're kind of pushing yourself, and it's like it makes it doesn't really help the film, or like it doesn't change that much. Like especially if the film's like good, like who cares after that? I mean, this has been like a frequent trend I've noticed recently. So that's just me though. But anyway, it was the film did a lot of things that I wasn't expecting, and I actually really liked that.
I felt like this movie was just like, I would say this is the one I enjoyed the most out of like the Star Wars.
Like the new ones?
Yeah.
Or just...
I would say this is the most enjoyable, but like that's not really, I don't think that's really saying that much.
I mean, in comparison to like, Rogue One and
Force
Awakens, I guess. Like, yeah.
No, I value this more than Force Awakens. At least they did something interesting.
I also value this more than Force Awakens because it did something different. It didn't retread, even though, you know, it does the beat for beat, you know, what exactly happens, in the sense that, like, oh, you got to do the Kessel Run. He's got to, like, talk about, like, 12 parsecs and shit like that. And I thought that was alright. I think they actually incorporated that decently. Like, incorporated the ties into the original trilogy well, and unlike Rogue One, where it's like, oh, you'll be dead, guy, like that. Like I completely the way people are talking about this, I completely expected like him to show up. He's like, oh, I know you, right? Oh, you want to meet at Tatooine like 2 weeks from now?
I just think that this like movie is just like, one, at least it has like a stinger, because like I think did Force Awakens have like some sort of like stinger at the end that's supposed to be like, oh wow, that's interesting. This one stinger is like, wait, what the fuck? Why are you guys touching?
We'll talk about that. All right,
it has that.
I think another thing I liked about it was like it did what Rogue One kind of should have been. It should have been like kind of a more fun, like kind of like it's about these people like, you know, working together as a team and kind of going and doing their own thing. They want to like go against this team or like the Empire or something like that. Where it could, it's kind of like a heist film in that sense. Like, you know, they're gonna rob this train. I actually like that scene. I like that scene.
That scene is not terrible, but I think it's like stupid. It's like, why are you robbing space trains? Why do these?
You don't like the fact that is it the concept that they're robbing the space trains, or the fact that there is space trains?
The fact that there is trains in general.
I mean, it's a cargo train, Mars. They can't use spaceships for everything.
But wasn't it like actually like on a track though?
I mean, it's a track in the sense it's like super fast. It's like a monorail, like a really, really fast one. It's like people couldn't
But it
like,
wasn't
go on
moving
there.
fast though. It was moving like a regular train.
It was moving pretty fast for like the level.
Fucking Japanese bullet trains are faster than this. Like now than whatever they have in like whatever time Star Wars is in.
Also, I mean they can't go that fast because the thing's like combustible.
I felt like that scene lasted way too long. That's...
for those who don't know, I saw the film twice. I saw Solo Duo.
That's terrible. Fuck you. But like
I didn't mind it the second time either. So
I feel like the first part of the movie is just like really boring. Like
I mean, I guess
all like
for
the
like
interesting shit happens like in like the second half. At least like you know, I say like that cringy like fucking robot. At least like
that's when that comes in. But I did like the first, like it was kind of slow when they're on Corellia, like he's trying to run away from the Empire. I guess he's kind of slow like
and
that.
It looks like shit too.
Yeah, the movie's kind of like muddy at the beginning, especially in the war parts where he's in the Empire. Which even I did like that fact that like they kind of go in depth to showing like this is what the Empire like does, and like most of the Star Wars movies don't do that.
I thought that we were gonna have something more and like impactful about like his like training, like he would like suffer some sort of like PTSD or something, because like the way how it was like shot. I thought like if we're gonna have like what is it like Saving Private Ryan like some shit in this.
That's what Rogue One tried to be.
Yeah, like the first part of the movie, like when he's like talking to like the boss that's supposed to be like the mob boss or something. First off,
the worm, yeah.
Is that like a practical effect?
I think it was. I think it was a mixture of practical and CG because like when she was moving around, I felt like that was kind of like totally could have been like a worm that they made in real life, and then when the sun like hits her eye, like I feel like that's probably CG. Like, I imagine it's a mix, and I think that's cool.
That was interesting, but it just comes off as just like kind of goofy, especially like now that like Star Wars uses CG on literally everything, and then you see like a practical actual alien.
I mean, they're pretty practical as well. Like even in Last Jedi, they had a bunch of practical stuff in the casino and shit.
Okay, yeah, okay, so maybe they do those, but like they don't look stupid like that one. That one looked like one of like the creatures in the background that looks stupid, like Jabba's hut.
Yeah, Jabba's hut.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't mind that. I guess the characters.
Like
you didn't like the black character. You didn't like
the
female black character, the Val character.
I don't remember her.
She was the second one with the she was the one with the afro. Yeah, the
Glenn Walker.
Yeah, her. She wasn't that interesting actually.
She did not. Well, she fucking fucked off and died like before.
Yeah, she fucking blew her face off, and so she can have 2 scenes in the trailer. So if you were expecting the African American diversity in this film, I guess
that's really weird. Like they just talk about like this. They have like this robot that's supposed to be like diversity or something.
You fucking kill the black. Okay, yeah, but that's the best part. Like I mentioned the equality line. Like she says that to the black guy.
Yeah, and it's just like that's interesting. But like there's like they have a character just for that, and like all the black characters are like maimed and injured or dead.
But yeah, we have her. She dies. Like
Han Solo. Like I'm just thinking about like Han Solo did not get a fucking scratch on him at least. Like nothing.
Not really. No.
Barely anything.
He got punched in the face. That's it though.
He got punched in the face, and Lando got a bullet in the fucking arm.
And then we have like you didn't like the Jon Favreau monkey character with the 4 arms. I liked him.
That guy was cool. He's a monkey.
He was a monkey. Yeah. You like monkeys, Mars?
Most monkeys are cool. I actually have a video about Mr. Goat. That's about like the baseball playing gorilla.
I can't wait for that.
Only reason I'm making that is like, oh, I'm kind of stretched for time. What can I make? And it's like, oh, I can make this on this fucking stupid gorilla movie.
But I don't know. Did you mind like the little things like Han meeting Chewie for the first time? What'd you think of that?
I thought like it was very predictable how they were gonna end up, but like, I don't. That's the other thing I don't like about like these Star Wars movies. The imagery that they use is just kind of like, okay, I get it. It's kind of like, looks like not Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi or something. When like Luke is in the fucking
when Luke is in the pit, yeah.
With the Rancor, he goes like, all right, dog. I like how they meet up, and I like that it's actually pretty charming, but like don't fucking use the same imagery. It's kind of like you guys already have like an identity crisis trying to live up to your fucking dad, but you disappoint them all. Just don't fucking try to replicate what they're doing.
I mean, this one disappointed in the most sense is apparently like is a big drop off for it so far. Like it's probably, I think it's the most expensive Star Wars movie, and they've barely broken even.
That's also like the biggest interesting thing about this. Like this one is such a failure. What is the reason for it failing other than no one really caring?
Probably because it's too soon. Personally.
Oh yeah, fucking Deadpool came out and like.
I mean, Deadpool came out. That didn't help. I'm saying like superhero movie, but like I think it's just way too soon because I feel like I saw Last Jedi like 2 months ago.
Yeah, Last Jedi was like Christmas. This is
like... it was in December, and like this comes out in May, and it's just wow.
Yeah, these come out. That's like Star Wars is just gonna, if this is gonna happen, then like all their like movies about like their side characters, like if Han Solo does this shitty, it makes me question like, all right, what about this Darth Maul or Obi-Wan movie? What are they gonna call that one? Just like Obi?
Yeah, Obi-Wan, the movie.
Yeah, Wan, the movie. Yeah. What would they even call that movie?
They would call it Kenobi or some shit.
Kenobi movie?
Yeah.
Let's just say this. Obi-Wan Kenobi has like the stupidest fucking name in like the Star Wars universe.
I don't mind it.
It's funny, but it's like, trying to take that seriously, like I think of like a serious moment, like Obi-Wan Kenobi crushes the throat of Anakin or something. It's like I laugh at the fact of like his name, like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I feel like his name. I feel like his performance of Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor. I feel like they actually make it so like you can take the character seriously.
I can't. When I think in my mind of just like Obi-Wan Kenobi does this, it's like, oh yeah, his name is fucking ridiculous.
All right. Well, see, we gotta talk about this. So yeah, they botched this heist to get the hyperfuel, I guess, from there do the train thing. Everyone dies, Monkey dies, Afro dies, and then they want to go on this this space yacht. Were you getting flashbacks of Last Jedi in this scene, Mars, with the dancers and shit like that, the shittiest jazz music ever, jizz music or whatever that is.
No, I think what did they go into like a jazz bar?
The bar, you know, like that when they're gonna meet Vision.
Oh, I probably took a piss at that moment.
You take a piss during the middle of a movie?
No,
do you leave the theater?
I turn around in the seat and I just piss. On,
you piss on the guy behind you, yeah.
Yeah, like piss on his shoes. His suede shoes, and they go through his foot and go into.
No,
his
my
sock.
suede shoes.
How am I gonna clean the piss out of my shoes?
Did you actually mind? Like, what did you think of that? Like, the set piece, at least.
Of the bar.
I guess.
The bar, where Lando's fucking.
No, I mean I was talking about the space. I'm talking about the yacht bar, like the one where Vision's on.
That was really interesting. Just I thought it was just it's just a big ass fucking ship that just goes everywhere. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. They meet Vision there, in the sense that it's the same actor who plays Vision in Avengers and shit like that.
I like that guy, but he was not a good character.
He was not the best character. I did like his performance though.
Yeah, his performance is good, but you're just a Mary Sue, or whatever, just generic.
I don't think he's a Mary Sue. I wouldn't say he's a Mary Sue.
He's a fucking just.
He's a stereotypical kind of mob, I guess a villain. Like if you could personify the word villain, he would be that.
He's like a Bond villain.
He's like a Bond. That's a perfect analogy for him, actually. He's like Scarface or some shit like that. That's what his name would be or something.
He goes I have expensive taste. Look at my little lightsaber.
Lightsaber knife with brass knuckle knife or something.
Yeah.
Like that. It's cool. I don't know.
I'm also British, and when I get mad, my eyes get really red. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
Was that an intentional thing, or was he actually crying, or just
I think that's eyes? I'm pretty sure that was a visual effect. I don't think he actually got his eyes red. It'd be cool though. He could do that.
Yeah, you're just seeing scenes where his eyes are just white and blue or whatever color they are, and when he gets angry, it just takes a hit.
He does cocaine on the side. It's like, oh god, my eyes gotta be red for this scene.
Alright, fuck. I don't know how to make fucking lighter
drug sound effects.
Insert drug sound effect here.
I guess after the scene they gotta meet Lando. They gotta do this nice card game, which I like that scene a lot.
That scene is actually pretty cool, but I was like, wow, this is a card game. What the fuck? Is it this is poker?
It's I think it's supposed to be this. There's a card game in the Star Wars universe called Pazak, which I think that's similar to what they're doing. I think it's a different name for it, which I thought that was cool. I have no idea how the fuck it's played. It looks like dominoes to me. And then again, I don't know how to play cards in general. I don't typically like gambling scenes or card scenes, especially in things like Casino Royale, a Bond thing like that. I could give a shit less about card games personally. Casino Royale, there's a whole thing about how he has to play cards because he got poisoned or some shit. I don't care for that, but I did like the scene. I like that it sets the precedence that Lando is always just an asshole cheater.
Oh wow, way to make your diverse black character. He's a fucking cheating piece of shit. Nice going, Disney.
I did like that. Just you think Han Solo's gonna take it all, and then Lando's like,
Next thing you know, he has a drinking problem. Nice going, Disney. Very progressive.
I like the line that he says like everything you heard about me is true. It's is it true that you have 15 STDs? I would have liked it, he says that in the trailer. I would have found that funny if they did something like that.
Everything you know about me is true. Is it true that you did what you did to that child in '94?
Yeah, and it's also in this scene that we get to meet the our favorite character in the film, Robot, who somehow, I don't get that. The whole point of droids in the Star Wars universe is that they're basically just tools. That's the whole point of them. Most of them don't really have emotions. R2 and C-3PO, yeah, they can have conversations. They don't really have emotions like that.
Yeah, I don't see fucking R2-D2 getting on his soapbox and saying yo, let me have people. Rights. He just sings the song "Let my people go" and his R2-D2 fucking voice. Why is this Robot? This robot specifically is Martin Luther King for all robots. Why isn't C-3PO do that? If C-3PO did that shit, did this level of shit, I wouldn't even be mad. I was like, they treat him like shit, or like R2 like shit all the time. They deserve equal rights. This character, fuck you. You just come out of nowhere and your first thing is like, yo, you should be free, or you know,
you should not listen to these humans who made you.
No, fuck you. We haven't seen your struggle. You're just like a fucking millennial. Fuck you.
But I guarantee you, there's like, you mentioned like R2D2 and C3PO. I'm pretty sure there's like a comic thing where like they do like a droid rebellion, something like that, or something like that, probably. And there's probably a comics explaining why she's such a bitch, or I mean SJW, I mean feminist, I mean
whatever. Fucking Malcolm X.
Yeah, Malcolm X. Yeah, but it's stupid. And the thing I noticed, like I don't like the way like her how she walks. She constantly looks like she's gonna take a dump or something.
Yeah, like she has like really big hips, and I was like, she kind of like, it's a British lady, but I thought it was like a black lady. Cause like, it's like a black lady just saying like, "Ugh, you gotta fix my hips later," and Lando looks disgusted. Yeah,
she's like when she tells Han to get out of her seat, she's like going over to sit in, and she's like, "Oh, ugh." So she like feels it or something.
You know, like it's not even that, like, you know, like any circuits or anything. It's just like you're fully functional. Nothing is bad happened to you. You don't have nerves. You don't have like I
have a. I don't like. Yeah, and it's like
it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I already don't like this character, so I'm gonna nitpick her fucking like terrible shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then she's complaining when everyone's watching her take out her penis saw.
Yeah,
which every single tool she has seems to be in her crotch region.
Would that what would that make that like? This is like a pansexual like.
Is fucking robots pansexual?
Like I don't know. I don't even think they have like sex.
Omnisexual probably. I don't know. It's probably I could probably easily look it up, but
it's a robot.
It's a robot. Wiener. I mean, yeah, and like even later on, she's talking to the character Kira, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lando has feelings for me." And she's like, "Really? Like you're a bitch." But like she's like, "How would that even work?" And she's like, "Oh, trust me, it works." And I noticed there's like a little hole down there. I'm like, well, "Yeah, where would he fuck that?"
That would just be terrifying. What if there's like a sharp, like uneven piece of metal in there? And
that's where she keeps the saw.
I don't know. That character. I think we talked more about that character than like anything.
We've talked more about this character than Han Solo.
It really is terrible. Like it's just like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like it's just a terrible idea.
Yeah, like it couldn't even work. It couldn't work no matter what.
We really are a no bullshit podcast.
All right. Well, after this, we get the new Millennium Falcon, or the old Millennium Falcon that Lando owns it. What do you think of that? What do you think of the new Corellian ship? What do you think of it having like the little thing in the middle, like the escape pod? What do you think? I think it was a cool design, personally.
I didn't really give a shit. I was like, whatever. There's been dumber shit in the Star Wars universe.
There really has. I like that it was nice and sleek. I also like the fact that it's so like nice, and you realize like, man, Han fucks this ship up.
Yeah, I was wondering like, how did you guys like ruin this ship like so bad? Like Lando, when it was in Lando's care, it was, like everything was pristine. He hung his cape, his like thousand.
He has an entire room dedicated to capes.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like when like she was like actually like putting out a fire after them getting like shot or something. He's like,
no, don't do that.
No, my cape, my cape. That
custom fitted cape.
I'll say this: Donald Glover, like, it was all right. It wasn't hot shit like I was thinking it like Lando, but like he did do like a good job with like capes.
Yeah, he does. He has a good cape.
I kind of like, man, I hope if anything from this movie, I'm kind of sad this movie's like a failure because like there's not gonna be any trend picked up and no one's gonna wear capes, and it's like, damn.
Hey, that's not true. If they like his character, they'll do anything. I think he was a good character.
Do you think that if they gave him like a movie?
I mean, maybe. I don't know if we get these box office results with a Solo movie. I doubt anyone wants to see a Lando movie. Maybe like a short film or something. I don't know. I don't think it needs the whole feature film.
Fucking episode of Atlanta is just like Donald Glover.
Just Donald Glover is.
It's just like him smoking something and just like, it'd be cool if I was Lando, and just
like a dream sequence. Cue the Arthur dream.
Man, that'd be cool. And then Billy D. Williams like comes back as his mom, like, whoa, honey, what are you doing?
Billy D. Williams.
Whoa. What is he doing now?
He's doing his own thing. I know he doesn't want Lando to be in the new films at all. He's like, leave my character alone.
No. You get
I know that for a fact. I know he liked Donald Glover though, so that's cool.
Yeah, like, I like him, but you ain't me.
You're not me, kid.
I like that. Like Lando's cool, but like he doesn't really do that. He does his part, but like in retrospect, like I don't know. I don't think you get that. Like your character is not that big enough to where I could say like you get to like say like he can't do my character.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like you're just like a side character.
You're a side character that people like.
That has like 10 minutes of screen time at tops.
He's got a bit more than that, but he's definitely got more than 10 minutes, Mars. He's the guy who blows up the second Death Star. Come on.
Oh man, that was cool.
That was cool. But yeah, I think one thing that pissed me off about like we mentioned how later on we mentioned that L3, the character robot, she gets killed in the sense that she's a robot, and yeah, she blows up.
Problem. I like the problem.
Yeah. It's the best part of the film. But yeah, after this, Lando's all sad. He's like, I liked her. But it's like when you realize it makes Lando kind of like a hypocrite or like a dickhead in the future, because you like in Empire in Cloud City, he's got like a whole room dedicated to like breaking down robots. Like he does not give a shit. Like he ignores C-3PO. He doesn't give a shit about droids at all.
Oh, it's like being friends with like Martin Luther King, but also still being part of the KKK. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You can't do that.
It's like Martin Luther King like does all the civil rights shit, like, but it's like Boondocks where he's like, oh, you guys suck ass.
Well, I didn't really think about that. It's like, wow, that is pretty fucked up. Like Lando, your character sucks now. They ruined you.
Yeah, I don't think they've ruined him, but it's just kind of like they didn't really think about that. No. But yeah, after this they get the Millennium Falcon. They got to go to the spice mines of Kessel. You got this shitty planet with the slaves. They got to pretend to be slaves and got to get the hyperfuel. I don't know. It's cool.
That I wish the item that they were getting was like cooler. It was like, we're just getting gas.
It's hyperfuel. It's expensive.
It's still fucking just gas.
I mean, they gotta smuggle something. It's like either that or spices, Mars.
Why is it like drugs or like something cool or like kids? I don't know.
You want to smuggle? I thought it would be something. You know what? I kind of bought into the hype in the sense that I speculated some things. I thought they were gonna like smuggle a Jedi or something.
It's just like some guy, just like rich guy, saying like, oh,
give me my fuel.
Give me like 2 tanks of gas and like, fill up my thing and also don't explode. Which I didn't really get because like they're supposed to keep it like in a certain temperature, but they put it underneath the fucking like where the engines is. And it's just like, and that shit like heats up to like 100 degrees. It goes like, how are you guys not dead? And you guys are like taking like 4 hours to like drive. So a lot of like so they do that. They get the shit from like some other people. I think it's like some planet.
Some like the Kessel. They steal like 11 of the canisters. There's a huge breakout because the character L3, she decides to have this big robot rebellion because she found her true cause of causing mass hysteria and mayhem.
Yeah, and then she
by letting robots loose. And you see Gonk Droid walking on a control panel.
And just like our real life, cultural leaders, she gets fucking MOK'd in Memphis. And then she fucking dies. And then like, oh man, we're real sad. I mean, we were sad for Martin. We weren't sad for this bitch. But like, she dies, and then they go back. Like, we gotta take this shit back, and they take it to like some beach planet. And then like,
they do the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
What the fuck is a parsec?
A parsec is a measure of distance, but they fucked up because in the original Star Wars, he says I did it in under 12 parsecs, which sounds like he's doing it in measure of time, but they didn't know that because they thought it was a shitty B movie. And so when you like listen to it, like you did in less than 12 parsecs, like, oh, it's like, okay, all right, whatever. I kind of like that, just like this, like, okay, it's kind of irrelevant. But I know a lot of people bitching about like, oh god, they gotta do the Kessel Run because it's Star Wars. Oh, he always mentions that.
Is this like a big thing in like the expanded universe? Like
not really. No, people just kind of bring it up because that's like a main thing Han Solo says.
Oh man, I fucked this chick in like less than 12 seconds. Like, whoa, we gotta do that too.
It's not a measure of time though; it's a measure of distance. So it's like he did in less than 12 miles.
That doesn't sound anything cool. Like, hey,
that's the point though. I like that. Just like they fucked up with.
But then they take like 45 minutes to do this. Like,
To
it
do
did less
this,
than
yeah.
12 parsecs.
No,
like it's
the
been
whole
more than
point-
12 fucking parsecs.
The
I know
whole,
there's
the
a
whole,
distance.
yeah. The whole point is he gets out in less than 12. Like, I mean, like a parsec is like a measure of distance in the sense that it's like a light year, which is like a big thing in space travel. Which is for space travel it's pretty cool, but in Star Wars universe it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I thought that was cool. I did like the action scenes of like even like them fighting like in the dog fights with the TIE fighters. Always like that.
It wasn't that much of them though.
It wasn't that much of them, but I did like the one they had where they go into like the mouth or whatever.
I did appreciate that because I hate fucking dogfights in Star Wars. They
I like
suck.
dogfights personally. I love the Battlefront 2, like the original dogfights is my favorite. I love
In the
big TIE
video
fighters.
game.
Yeah.
That's because you have interaction.
I know, but I'm saying I also just like dogfights in general. I want to be a part of it, so I'm saying.
I like the dogfights in the first Black movie, Red Tails.
The
Also
first
by
Black
George
movie, an all-black film.
I don't know. I don't understand like how George Lucas is married to a black woman and thinks that's true. Like, have you not seen any? Have she not shown you like black movies like at
He
home?
didn't say it was the first one. He's just like, I was ahead of my time with Red Tails, an all-black film.
But it makes it seem like he's saying like it's something like
It's
it never
the
been
first
done before.
black movie, all-black movie.
I bet his like wife was like sitting next to him, was like looking at him.
All right, she's like patting his head. Yeah, you're right, honey.
I want to know if like George Lucas is like unconsciously like white racist, and his wife has to remind him shit. You know, like how people will say like, "Oh, do you love black people?" And they'll say like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I
love
like
it.
jazz music.
Yeah, I love that." Oh, that's a reference for you. But that one, that I wonder if like George Lucas does that like all over his ranch or whatever. Just goes like,
But it's like it's the opposite of that. It's like in Star Wars, like, do you like black people? It's like, yeah, I like jizz.
they need to bring back jizz.
They did technically. I guess you could say that was jizz playing in the bar. It
No,
sounded
they-
shitty though.
They made
It
they need to make like the jizz album, like the jizz EP.
Well, I mean, in the Last Jedi, in the casino scene, they basically they play the Cantina song, but it's like a kind of royal, like regal thing. I like that part at least. A thing I like. I mean, I guess backtracking a little bit, like when Han Solo's about to join the Empire, he sees this little advertisement for the Imperial the fleet, and like they show in this advertisement like during the hologram they play like the Imperial March with like a jolly like national anthem version. That's like the John Williams thing. Like that's in canon. That's like the actual like theme music to the Empire. I kind of appreciated that.
But like, what else happens? They go back to the beach planet, and Lando fucks off because he's a bitch.
Yeah, I thought that was probably one of my favorite jokes in the movie. This movie.
It ruins Lando in certain ways. Like it just like it doesn't really ruin him because he does it anyways. But it just goes like, wow, Lando, you really fucking are an asshole.
Yeah,
like you betray us like now, you betray us then. Like you'd think Han would like know, like, man, this guy fucking sucks. But this is like the second time. It's like, fool me once, shame on me.
I took that as like later on in the film, Han has like this convoluted plan to like trick the bad guy. I thought Lando would be a part of that, but that wasn't the case at all.
Why did he just leave?
It's his ship. He's like, fuck off, guys. I don't know you.
It's just kind of like, damn, dog. Like, fuck. I just got you out of that thing with like,
you fucked up my nice ship.
You know, can I get a little ride?
You killed my robot. You killed my sex robot.
He didn't kill the. Well, you agreed. You agreed to sign up. No one told your fucking like robot to go on like a liberation like that in like the middle of a fucking war zone.
Yeah, I guess. All right, but I did like that. I especially like the scene where like he looks at like this broken down husk of a ship he has. He's like, I hate you. He's like, I know.
And he walks away. And
I'm going on my ship. Yeah. I did like Lando's mannerisms in the film. Like even when he's talking to Woody Harrelson, he's like, you know, he's like, okay, you're gonna have 20% of the bargain. It's like, oh, you know what? I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I accept it.
And then they're like confronted by like the Marauders from like that fucked up that train
that killed Woody Harrelson's wife or girlfriend or whatever.
We don't know their affiliation, but like
they're in a relationship because they kiss.
You know, people can be drunk and just do that.
They weren't drunk. They were fucking by a campfire.
You know, people drink moonshine by campfires.
Space moonshine.
Yeah, space moonshine.
You're saying this? this whole thing's a misunderstanding. Like she was just drunk and just kissed him like Scott Pilgrim or something.
Yeah, but like she's like confronted by the Marauders that killed them, and then like the Marauder turns out to be a 12-year-old girl or something.
Albino girl? I don't even know. I can't even tell. She's like a white like ginger girl with freckles all over her face.
She looks like the chick from like Horizon Zero Dawn. She just goes like, we're like the rebellion or something or whatever. And then like, will you join us? And Han's like,
nah. But I did like the fact that Warwick Davis was there. I like that. I appreciated that.
Midget. Wasn't he the guy that like killed himself?
No.
Who was the guy that killed himself?
That's
like,
Mini-Me.
Mini-Me killed himself?
Mini-Me killed himself. You didn't know that?
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's him. Warwick Davis was he was Wicked. He was the Ewok.
I'm sorry, I'm not really educated on like my midgets or little people.
I mean, he does a lot of things with Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington. It's cool.
Oh, that guy. Oh,
yeah.
Warwick.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're kind of look the same. They're kind of the same height.
You never saw Willow Mars?
I don't know, like little people don't have like very diverse bodies. Like they're not like these big chubby fucks like us, like big people.
I mean, you can't really confuse Warwick Davis with like with Peter Dinklage. But yeah, they have this long. After this they have like the long con, this big charade, this whole switcheroo where they have a fight with Paul Bettany. They trick him. Woody Harrelson betrays them. He's gonna steal all the fuel with Chewie.
Steal the space gas.
Yeah, he steals the space gas. And then Kira kills him. She uses her Terra Kasai or whatever. She kills him.
She fucking uses like an actual sword, which is actually weird. It's like, why do we have like? Oh, it's not like a lightsaber. It's an actual physical sword that penetrates them.
Those exist.
They still exist, even though compared to lightsabers, they're kind of shitty.
I mean, there are things called vibroblades that can block lightsabers.
Wait, what are they called?
They're called vibro blades. VERO.
The vibro blades.
They're in like the expanded universe shit. You don't really see them.
The expanded universe sounds like the worst thing ever.
It's not the worst thing ever. There's really dumb shit in it. I'm not gonna say there isn't. But there's some cool things in it. The
only thing that I heard from it was like Boba Fett is fucking epic in it, and it's like, no, I do not want to see that on the big screen. I want to see Boba Fett be this like bumbling idiot.
I mean, you already see Kid Boba Fett.
They're making a Boba Fett movie, but like, what is that movie going to consist of? Like, he has
probably him jumping out of the Sarlacc pit or some shit.
It'll probably be him just like being like stupid. It's like, oh, I finally got out the Sarlacc pit, and he falls in a hole and breaks his neck. Ah. Oh, damn.
He gets his head ripped off with his dad.
Would they really do that, or would they make a prequel of, like, this is how I got here? Because, like, if they just make a direct sequel to, like, oh...
They'll probably do, like, a thing where it's, like, both in, like, the present, where he gets eaten in, like, the past, where he's, like, maybe with Jabba or something. I don't know. I'm really happy that, it's like, yeah, we mentioned before, like, this kind of subverted a lot of people's like expectations of like what this would be when they speculated. Like Kira, she doesn't like full on backstab Han Solo. I completely expected that. I expected like Jabba the Hutt to show up. They don't even say his name. I like that. Yeah. But after this, like the one thing I kind of wanted, they didn't do. Which after this, after Kira kills her boss, her Paul Bettany, she kills him. And then she lets Han go.
She weirdly just goes like, Han, leave.
Han, leave. I'll come back for you later.
It's like, I'll hook up with you later. Like, you know, just wait outside.
Yeah, but then after this, she takes her like Captain Planet ring or something. She uses it to contact a hologram. We don't know who it is. And then he takes off his hood and it's like, oh shit, it's Darth Maul.
Why don't I'm confused. Like, okay, like what do you think about Darth Maul being in it? I'm very conflicted. I
kind of liked it.
I
honestly kind of liked it. I'm not even gonna lie. As a person who did like watch the expanded universe stuff, I haven't watched Rebels at all. That's the only thing I haven't. That's the only thing I haven't seen. But I watched like the Clone Wars, and I think he was really cool in that. And I'm like, oh wow, you actually made Darth Maul a character, and I like that a lot. And just like I think like it's really cool that, you know, they can actually do this now like properly, I guess. Like if you're gonna bring back anyone, like I'd rather see him than Darth Vader.
I don't even know. It was like, okay, is it out of like? I just think this when I saw it, I'm just kind of thinking like, I'm not even really that mad, because, like, Darth Maul is, like, he's visually pretty cool, and he had, like, the coolest thing in the Phantom
He's a
Menace.
cool-looking character. He's cool in the sense that he doesn't do shit, but he's, like, he doesn't do anything in the Phantom Menace, so it's completely... I think this is completely warranted, honestly.
I think, I don't know, I can't even... when I saw him, I was like, is this just, like, a money decision? Because, like, Darth Maul is, like, no matter what you say about Phantom Menace, he's the fucking shit. Like, to, like, all these people, it's like, Darth Maul is so cool. Like, there was gonna be, like, an EA video game just about Darth Maul.
Yeah, just about him. I know, I first saw this movie with my mother, and, like, when that reveal happened, she was like, yes! She's like, the Star Wars fan. She's like, I like Darth Maul, he looked cool.
Everyone just says, like, man, he had some cool, like, he had a cool outfit, and he had, like, 2 double swords, and... That's
yeah, apparently he has the Rebels lightsaber, so that's, I don't know if that makes that canon or something.
Isn't he, like, a spider, though?
In the Clone Wars, after he got his legs cut off, he got like sent to this junk planet, and so he made like he made like a bunch of spider legs as his lower body, because he doesn't have a penis anymore as well. He lost his lower waist.
I don't like. I like it when he has like the 2 legs. I don't like it when he has.
He's not a spider leg. That was like when he was crazy, Darth Maul. That's like when he lost his mind, though.
Oh, if they go full 8 legs, it's like, no, that looks like
they're
shit.
not. They're not going to go that way.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but I did kind of like that when they did it in Clone Wars, though. It was like 2 seconds though. Yeah, but I personally didn't mind him in it, because I know it's probably gonna be set up for like the Kenobi movie that they're gonna do. They're probably gonna do that.
They're gonna have a rematch. It goes like, hey you.
Apparently they have a rematch in Rebels. Apparently, I don't know how that ends. Probably him dying or some shit.
Pushes him in another fucking hole.
No,
but
cuts off both his arms.
Ah, now I get it. Spider arms.
Ah, spider arms.
Yeah,
just like a thorax, just like on his arm. Can't pick up a lightsaber.
Yeah, he's just like fucking around with it. It's like, god damn, how do I pick this up?
Fuck! I didn't make fingers.
At this point, they'll just be the running joke. They'll just keep fucking like cutting off limbs.
God, I got my head cut off. I gotta make a spider head.
Ah, I'm just a robot now. Fuck.
I gotta make he's like a floating brain, like a Futurama or something, a brain in a jar.
Yeah. They'll just I don't know what they'll do. I'm not really that mad. At least it was like a shocking twist.
Yeah, I like that. It was like something kind of different, and I completely didn't expect that. Like, in a solo movie, I did not expect Darth Maul to show up.
Yeah, it's like, Darth Maul, what the fuck? I was surprised they kind of like dance around like prequel shit, because like they know those suck.
They know it sucks. The only good things from prequels are in Clone Wars.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like they kind of danced around it. It was like really funny to see them like make a direct thing,
like a direct correlation to they go back.
Yeah,
which I think that's alright though.
You know, it'd be like a shittier twist. What if like fucking like
Jar Jar Binks or something?
No, not Jar Jar. It was like Star Killer.
That'd be really stupid.
Star Killer from the video game.
Oh shit. That'd be really dumb. Actually, I'm happy they didn't do that.
That'd be awesome. It's like, yes,
my lord. Or like but yeah, I mentioned like they have this hologram, but for some reason he decides to take out his lightsaber, which I kind of rolled my eyes at, because I was hoping like this whole movie like had no correlation or relation to Jedis at all. I'm like, oh, I like that. There's no lightsabers.
Did he just like wait? I'm trying to remember the scene. Did he just like take off his cloak and just like fine, and then he like fucking takes out a double lightsaber? Like, why did you do that? Did you do that?
He took it out to like threaten her. It's like, okay, if you don't listen to me, you're dead.
Oh, I thought
he was I'm gonna make this guy pay or whatever. Yeah.
I thought he was doing that just to stunt. Like, look at me, I got these double lightsaber. I'm cool.
But yeah, he takes the lightsaber out, which I didn't like that. I was hoping that they didn't go that route, but it's Star Wars. It's basically fan service at this point to have a lightsaber at least once.
Yeah.
Did Rogue One did that have a lightsaber in it? I don't even. Oh no, it had Darth Vader. Fuck.
Yeah. Darth Vader looking really fat in that movie just kind of comes in and is like, I have a lightsaber, and like behead someone or thing.
Yeah, that was the best part of that movie though.
Darth Vader looked like shit though.
Darth Vader looked like shit in that one scene, yeah. But like after
but like the whole scene though.
No, I mean like the ending, the Rebel assault.
He just kind of looked bad. No, like
he looked, because he looked too clean or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The suit looked bad. I think he was all right. Like at the ending, that's it. That's the only part of that movie I like, kind of like. But anyway, so we're not talking about Rogue One. We're talking about this movie. So it ends with Han Solo learning to shoot first. He shoots Woody Harrelson right in the back or face or chest.
Didn't he like shoot the shit out of like Greedo in like one of the earlier scenes? Like he shot like some brown looking Greedo. He shot some sort of Greedo. Did you not see that? That's what I mean by like a Greedo. Like he shoots some sort of like Greedo creature.
But yeah, Woody Harrelson dies, and it's like, okay, don't trust anyone, kid. And so like yeah, they go back and they have his rematch with Lando. They finally he coerces him. He double crosses him by like taking his card that he cheated with. So it's cool. Then he gets the Millennium Falcon. And then he goes off, and that's the end. Directed by Ron Howard.
Yeah, Ron Howard.
Yeah, ever since the whole Phil Lord and Chris Miller thing, people complained about that. I thought he did fine as a director in this film. A lot of competent shots.
You know, I'm a basketball guy. Ron Howard. They threw him an alley-oop. He didn't do a windmill in the air. He just kind of just like, he just lightly tapped the ball into the hoop,
It's not too impressive, but it won the game.
Yeah. It won. It didn't really win the game.
It didn't win the game, but at least
they got blown out by at least a good like 200 million. But
yeah, well, in the sense that they replaced the guys. So that's not his fault. So yeah, that is Solo, a Star Wars story, trademark.
Directed by the kid that drowned in Andy Griffith's show.
So yeah, that was Solo. So Mars, what do we think of Solo now that we're done talking about it?
It was a pretty okay movie. I wish it could have been something better, but
yeah, I thought it was fine actually. I was completely entertained by it, and I'm very happy with that.
I was entertained by it when they brought in Lando and his shitty robot. Everything before that, I thought like this is really boring.
I didn't mind that. Even the second viewing, I wasn't even bored by the first part really. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's probably the best out of the newer ones.
That's not really saying much, because there's been like 4 of these movies, and none of them I can say are like great.
This is probably my favorite in terms of that, then.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, wow, this is really a disappointing like 4 set of movies. Like, I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, which one do I like more?
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna go Solo, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rogue One.
I'm bringing in the prequels too. It was like, do I even like those more than these? Because like, at least those are interesting.
I don't like the prequels more than these. Maybe like Last Jedi, maybe like Revenge of the Sith, but maybe that's it though. That's the only thing I can bring, because like if you do that, then I'll say like Attack of the Clones is my least favorite out of all of them.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just nostalgic for the prequels. But
they're not the worst things ever, but they're not that great.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think these movies are just incredibly boring.
I wasn't too. This is probably that's why I think I wasn't too bored by this one. Rewatching Last Jedi, I was like, fuck, I like this for like a second.
I think one of my bigger problems with like newer Star Wars movies is that they're a lot more comedic than what they are. Like compared to, they're kind of.
I think that's why
when their jokes just don't land, it's just kind of like.
That's the worst, and I think Last Jedi is the worst offender at that.
Yeah.
And this one, I actually was surprised the jokes weren't the worst things ever. There definitely were some clunkers in terms of the humor, but it wasn't the worst thing. There were some pretty alright jokes, actually.
Remember the joke in Last Jedi where like he hands Luke the fucking lightsaber and he just fucking
tosses it? I actually kind of liked it the first time, not the second time though.
It was just kind of awkward. It was like, what
is?
It's
kind of awkward, yeah. And then remember right at the beginning, they make a yo mom joke.
Yo mama.
Yeah.
Yo mama gay. That's the whole movie. Someone called
this is Star Wars now, and we gotta worry about we gotta look forward to episode 9. All right. So let's get into some questions then. All right. So if you want to ask us a question, be sure to join the Half and Half Discord page. Make sure to ask us stuff in the questions and suggestions chat. We'll at everyone when we are going to announce when we're asking questions, so don't worry. All right. From Shade X. Do you agree with the statement that Star Wars isn't special anymore?
It isn't special anymore. It's just like a yearly thing now. So it's like,
yeah, definitely. I could say that it's definitely not special anymore.
Like, what was like? Wait, let's look at what was the fucking like dates between the prequels. I know they weren't like 1 year.
They were between a couple of years. Like, Phantom Menace was in 99. Episode 2 was in 2002, and then Revenge of the Sith was in 2005. So it was like a 3-year age gap.
Yeah, they're like events. They're just like, these don't come out that often.
Yeah, the only one we really felt that way with was Force Awakens because it was the new one, and now after seeing it, it's like,
I feel like that's why like Solo suffered is because there's so many fucking movies being put out.
Yeah, and even if this came out in like the same time as like Rogue One did, if it came out in December, which is a smarter move by the way, instead of doing it like 5 months after Last Jedi, like that probably would have benefited them, honestly.
I honestly think like one thing, I don't know, we can go back and forth on this one. I think like the effects and just like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith are better because, or more impressive to me because like they had time to fucking work on them to make them like good.
I guess
some of them look really wonky, but like I think that they are like technologically they're really advanced. Like I when you see those movies, especially in that time, you like notice like, wow, this looks fucking cool.
Yeah, especially for the years they came out.
But, yeah, for the years they came out, and like with these ones, I can't even like compliment them on like a presentation because like, oh, they all look the same. They don't look like they've made any improvements.
Yeah, I guess there's also the sense that they kind of stick towards what the safer aspect. Like the prequels try to be something different. And that's why I applauded Solo. Like, it wanted to do something, like, different, like a heist film, like a smuggler's tale. I like that.
I mean, like, these movies are not bad. Like, you know, they got, like, $300 million, like, each for, like, a budget. They have some, like, nice-looking scenes, but, like, I just can't see it as much. Like, when I just see these movies every 6 months, it goes, like, I can't see the improvement.
Yeah.
That's, like, you know, how do I explain this? It's like releasing an Uncharted game every, like, 5 months. It goes like every Uncharted game is like an improvement onto each of them because there's been enough time and enough like technology
like
and
2K.
Shit. Yeah, that's a good one. Like 2K, I can't bear like it takes like every 2 years for me to acknowledge like, oh, I can now get like
they changed that feature.
I get the animations look a little bit different and like the facial like things like the characters.
Any sports games.
Yeah.
By EA.
Yeah, it takes like maybe like 2 or 3 years before I can actually acknowledge like, oh, there's improvements in the graphics.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially like someone like the crowd, where like the crowd just looks like they're like PS1 levels.
But yeah, I do agree that Star Wars should have been. I feel like it could have been more special if they just space it out and not have these sort of short films, like these smaller stories. In like the smaller, like if it maybe if it was like we had to wait like 3 years for the next one and there was like one in the middle, like after 2 years they make like something like this, that'd be fine.
I think like I don't know, we say this, but like I also like in my back of my head and just like I don't know, like many people are like pretty iffy on like Rogue One. Like they're like iffy as fuck.
Most people love that movie, and that's what I don't get.
I know, but they're like iffy as. There's like a lot of people that are iffy as fuck about like Rogue One and Last Jedi. What if they like waited like 4 years to release the next one? Do you think that they would make a lot like the same amount?
No,
I don't.
It's probably gonna make the most because it's the last one in the series of the trilogy, I guess.
That is not the last one. They're gonna make more.
It's not the last one. I'm saying in the new trilogy, it's gonna be the last one in the sense that it's that.
I don't know. It's just strange. Star Wars has now just turned into like basically like the film's version of like the new Madden.
Yeah.
And just kind of like Madden's fun, but like you know it kind of gets boring and kind of stale.
That's the funny thing. Like people kind of constantly bitch about superhero fatigue, and you know we've reviewed 3 superhero films in the past year, and I'm not feeling it.
I can get how some people would feel it because there was like a time where like superhero movies were just like you gotta admit some of those like sequels were pretty fucking. They would come out back to back. Some of those sequels weren't that good, shit. and then they bounced back. But like for this, I'm kind of feeling Star Wars fatigue at this point. Yeah, and there's been less movies.
There's been less movies. Yeah, that's the fucked up part. And like superhero films, like you can do at least something different. I feel like the problem with a lot of Star Wars movies is they kind of stay too close to home. Like you know they gotta involve like Darth Vader. They gotta involve the Empire, and that's why that's why I kind of like things like in the film like this where they didn't really it has the Empire but they're all in the background. Like it feels like its own story in this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, no.
Star Wars, it's dead. No, it's not. Sorry.
It probably is dead. Probably by the turn of millennium.
Yeah, if you listen to that, what world's
Decade.
greatest bullshit or whatever on the internet, he constantly bitches about Star Wars. I don't like him though.
The world's greatest bullshitter.
So, well, the world's greatest bullshit. It's like that's his name on YouTube. He kind of does like not toy reviews. He constantly does like videos on like how Star Wars doesn't sell any toys anymore, probably because they overstock.
Are you talking about that one guy that made like the? Wait, is it the same guy that made like the Lego video where it's like every 130 Star Wars characters ranked? Is that the guy?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, this is off with that thing, but like if you want to watch a really funny video, watch.
Oh no, not him. No, yeah, there's a pretty good video about this kid who does the top 100 greatest Lego Star Wars characters.
It just goes like these
and it goes on for like 2 hours.
It's just kind of just like everyone like kind of plays the same except for like a few characters, and it goes like, all right, Obi-Wan Kenobi is number one because of
I gotta review Gonk Droid, like number 100 Gonk Droid. He can't do shit. That's pretty good. I like him. Like unlike the world bullshitter guy.
I don't know.
Whatever.
First time someone gets called out on the podcast is not because of me.
Ah, whatever. He's got like 1 million subs. I don't even care.
He'll come down and comment on this podcast and just like,
yeah,
Lem,
I'm sure. I'm sure he really cares about our podcast.
He'll come down and like, Lem, you're a liar, and I'm gonna sue you for something, defamation of character.
Let's see what's next. From Lars Pants on Fars. Question: what are some of your favorite heist movies?
Heist movies? Tower Heist with Eddie Murphy.
You like that movie?
No.
Why you just said that because it says heist in the title?
I was thinking of like Eddie Murphy and where like his career went like down.
Completely downhill.
What about that one movie? Not Mr. Hands. Fucking what's that movie? Like Mr. Church, where like Eddie Murphy plays like what seems to be a house slave, but it's like 1980s.
I don't even know.
There's like this movie called like Mr. Church, but like the way how it just kind of like the way his name sounds and just like how the trailer was shot, you would just believe that this is like an old house slave just like living in it. But like apparently the time was like 1980s, and he's just like a good friend that just like hangs around in the house. I don't know.
That's interesting, I guess.
It's a really weird movie.
Well, anyway, heist films. I like Ocean's 11. That's a pretty good one. Like both the classic and the remake with George Clooney. I like that.
I don't know. Let me see. What's a heist film that I've seen? Fuck. I don't know.
You watch a lot of gangster movies, Mars. Those have heists in it.
What's a fucking good one? Heist? Not really heist films, but like
they have heists in them. They're not the main focus though. Something like Heat, or like where there's like robbers or something.
I haven't
like
seen
that,
Heat yet.
Heat's pretty good. I see you liking that.
I think I would like that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna stick with Tower Heist.
That movie sucks ass.
I'm gonna go with the new Ocean's 8. It's gonna be really badass.
I'm sure.
It has Rihanna in it.
It
was controversial thing. You know what I watched that's like somewhat related? There's like an actual like Chris Brown documentary, and it's like talking about it.
Is she in it?
No, he goes into detail of what happened, and it goes like, damn. I went down, and it was like, damn. There really is two sides to the story. And then I went to like interviews about her about the incident, and then like all the comments recently like, you fucking lying bitch. It's like,
it's funny you mentioned that because I just remembered something. Like, you ever see the movie Battleship? Where she was in it? Battleship. You remember that? It's like
the fucking Playmobil. She made metallic.
She's in that, and I remember like the director of the movie was in an interview. She was talking about her. She's like, yeah, I wanted to cast her because of her. Because I knew she'd be a good actor because I saw her in a Chris Brown, like she was talking about the Chris Brown debacle.
Wait, so he said she'd be a good actor because
she'd be a good actor because of this thing. She's lying through her teeth that day.
Was he just like sitting next to her, like? Oh
no, I don't think he was sitting next to her. I just think
she was
just talking about her.
She'd be a good actor because she was like domestically beat up.
She was lying through her teeth about that beating that day.
Oh fuck.
I don't think that's what he meant, but it came off like that. We answer this from Dino Roar 57. He asks, "Do you think Star Wars is on a downward spiral?"
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, and like, I mean, like, they just like ate shit at the box office today, so I guess that's somewhat of like maybe a little downward.
It's possible. I don't think it's gonna hit rock bottom personally. I don't see that. I feel it's gonna be still a marketing machine for quite some time. People still care about it. People still love the original trilogy. That's still gonna be there. The original films are still gonna be good. New films are kind of okay.
Listen, I'm starting to like Star Trek more than Star Wars.
I like Star Trek as well, but I mean, both two different things.
Yeah, one has
the Star Trek show sucks though.
One has a future. Yeah, that one does suck. One has a future. One has a Quentin Tarantino movie, possibly.
Possibly, but I doubt that honestly. You think that's gonna be? He's making like his 9th film. He says he's only gonna do 10. You think his last one's gonna be a Star Trek movie?
Probably.
I doubt that honestly.
What if like, he always says like the N-word in like all his movies? What if he like throws it in like Star Trek?
You're gonna have like Spock saying the N-word to Uhura.
Yeah, like whatever face was like
Uhura.
Almost like Gamora. Spock just says it out of nowhere.
All right, from Gloom Man 22. Have you guys seen the Star Wars Holiday Special? If so, what do you guys think about it? What would you want to do if it was canon or not?
I don't. What would they do? Isn't that thing where it's like Chewie goes sees his kids?
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah.
That'd be epic if it was like canon.
I know. We didn't talk about it, but I think like people kind of speculated in this movie, there's other Wookiees that Chewie helps out, and they think like, oh, is that Chewie's family? That if that's true, I mean he must be like a deadbeat dad or something. He doesn't see his kids. He just hangs out with this guy all day.
Oh, he's Drake. Chewie's out making hit singles for like he's making hit jizz singles.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't care. Star Wars Holiday Special is not very fun. It's not like it's more fun to talk about than it is to watch. It's the most boring thing ever. You would hate it, Maurice.
It sounds pretty bad. Isn't there like a really like weird looking like animation in it?
Yeah, there's a weird animation in it. It doesn't make sense. Like that's where Boba Fett first appears. That's like his first ever appearance before Empire.
Wow.
All right. Are you guys excited for future Star Wars films, or have you just lost interest? I feel like we keep saying the same things over and over.
I have lost all interest in it.
I'm still interested. I'm not like in super speculative. It's not the most. I don't have the most expectations for it at this point, unfortunately.
I'm just waiting until we find a new big mega franchise.
Yeah, that'd be cool though. But just have something new, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
What else is there?
From Crane Assad Fries. What's the worst scene you've seen from any Star Wars movie?
The fucking the SJW robot.
Just saying, I need equal rights.
What are some of the worst scenes in like Star Wars?
The worst scenes in Star Wars?
I think all the scenes in like the old ones where they incorporate like CG, like in like the old movies.
Oh, like the special edition?
Yeah, I was really excited because I thought I found like the old VHSs of Star Wars because I've never seen them. And I picked one up, and I got the fucking 90s one with, like, the shitty, like, Jabba the Hutt. And he looks even more disgusting.
Because he's, like... Yeah, because they made him look like, Oh, yeah, the CG looks like shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's 90s CG.
Yeah, but they kind of fixed him up later on. His textures look at least vaguely like him. Yeah. But, yeah, I guess the special edition does kind of do things like that. I don't like in episode 2 where Obi-Wan goes to like this 50s diner, like this Dexter bar.
Is that the one gif where he's like super gleeful and just like happy and just like moving his head around?
I don't even know. Oh, yeah, there's things like that too.
The Space Denny's.
Yeah, Space Denny's. That's what that is.
There's
none that really stick out in my mind. It was just like terrible, like especially aside from like prequel things, like everyone said, like, oh, I hate sand, like something like that.
I hated I love pod racing. That one's cool.
Yeah.
I hated like the Clone Wars. I hate like not the Clone Wars. What the fuck is it called? Clone Wars? Like the second one?
The
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
I think the scene when I was younger, I thought the scene where like all the Jedi's were like fighting was cool, but like now it's just like, oh, this hurts my eyes.
So it's dumb. I think one of my favorite scenes from Attack of the Clones though is when Count Dooku and Jango Fett they're on like this balcony and like this one Jedi just jumps up there and he gets shot. He just falls down. You could have like ended the movie, just get shot.
I think one of my favorite scenes from like the prequels is just like when Count Dooku is like the what is it? What the fuck is his name?
Count Dooku?
Not Count Dooku,
Yeah.
the fucking other one, the evil one.
Palpatine?
Yeah, Palpatine is just like, do it, fucking behead him, and like Count Dooku.
Do it.
Count Dooku gives him the look like,
What
"Dude,
the fuck, man?
Dude, what the fuck? It's like, this is not part of the deal, and he's fucking died.
Oh, yeah.
It was just so funny seeing like Christopher Lee's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That man was awesome. He's a great actor, Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
He's great.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
It's funny to think like he was in like wars and stuff. He killed people in
Christopher
wars.
Lee?
And like he was in the war.
I was disappointed when like people told me like, oh, that was fake, that Mr. Rogers in it wasn't a U.S. sniper.
Yeah, I guess.
That was heartbreaking. Now it makes
At least Christopher.
that makes the movie he's getting like a lot less interesting. It goes like he didn't shoot people, like he didn't shoot like Korean.
You just want
people.
Forrest Gump again, where you just like
I do.
because Tom Hanks. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. All right. From Larry, let's answer this last one then. From Amber XX Lynn. Question: What's your favorite Star Wars game, or the best Star Wars game?
What is the best one? Star Wars.
If I have to answer, I would say Battlefront 2, like the original, not the new one. Sorry, EA.
Battlefront new one is better than anything. Lego Star Wars. I liked Force Unleashed until they patched it to hell and made it terrible. Where they like took out like I think you were able to do combos like the first one, and it was like they patched it so much that like they took that out. You can't barely even combo, but it was really fun just like picking people up in the demo and just like throwing them against the wall.
Yeah.
It's just like picking up a stormtrooper and just like smashing their fucking bodies against
Just
the wall.
throwing them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Know what I would do? There was like you're able to like move TIE fighters, so I'd pick up a TIE fighter and throw it at like a group of like stormtroopers.
That'd be cool.
That was pretty cool, but the story and everything else sucked.
Yeah.
Most Star Wars games suck though.
Nah, it depends, I guess. It depends on where you look. It also depends on what you like. I personally think that Battlefront 2 is probably the best middle ground. Like, it's for everyone. Like, you can, if you like shooters, if you like first person or third person, you can have dogfights in the sky, in the space. I always like that. I always like playing on. I like playing as the Empire and crushing the rebellion. Being in my TIE fighter, I like that a lot.
I didn't play it that much. I thought it was I played it late and I thought it was kind of boring, but like
I don't know. Yeah, it takes some time to get used to, especially since it's an older game. But I started playing that like last year because it's on PC and it has dedicated servers now. They rebooted it the servers, so it's cool. You can play with online. But even then, you can still play with like bots and stuff, and I still think that's pretty fun.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with my other answer, Angry Birds Star Wars.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too.
Angry Birds Star Wars Connect.
Yeah, Star Wars Connect. You plays the Rancor. Yeah, all loops back. I'm Han Solo.
And 1313.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. That would have been cool.
Would it be? Who would you?
I think it could have been cool.
Do you play as like Boba Fett or something?
Yeah. But it's like before he's like the whole like Mandalorian thing, I guess. Like before he's like the big bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have been cool.
It'll
They'll probably do something like that for the movie. If they did something like that where it's like, I think that'd be cool.
Oh no!
All right.
No. You know those pesky people at EA.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. So that seems to be it. So that was it. So yeah, we this is it. We saw Solo, Star Wars Story. Saw it twice. I thought it was fine. Mars.
What?
Yeah, it's Solo. Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
No.
It's terrible.
That was
half and half.
It's a 6 out of 10.
I give it a light 4.
A 4 out of 5.
Out of 5, yes, a light 4.
Wait a minute.
Light 4. It's like a 3.5, honestly.
Wait. Well, okay. So 4 out of 5 percentage. That is a.
That's an
80%.
A light. I give it like a 70.
You give it a B.
I'd give it. Yeah, I give it a
3.5.
I give it a solid C.
I give it a D.
That was that's fine.
Like you wrote your name, like it wrote its name on the paper and got like the first 2 questions right.
I guess. It's like, yeah, I took the SATs. It wrote its name down.
I remember when I like failed like one class or like college, I was just like I just didn't show up, and it was like my dad's like, you should at least just go write your name. I was like, all right, and I did.
All right. Well, see that was half and half. That was episode 17.
Mm-hmm.
I've been Glenn Walker, your host, and here with me as always is Mars Reviews.
Go see Solo.
You only see it once. Only seen it uno.
You know, I'm really disappointed they didn't use like the Connect Solo like song at the end.
Yeah, unfortunately, that should have been the ending credits song.
Yeah.
Oh well, we can only dream though. We'll wait for the edit for that to be the whole soundtrack of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that was half and half. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
They have a fight with Paul Bettany. They trick him.
I don't think
and
that's
Woody
his real
Harrelson.
name.
Paul Bettany?
No, wait. There's some other character, like famous British person that had, like a real bitch name. Like he had an actual like bitch name that you'd think was like, man, like what a loser from like English. Like it was like Togglewinkle or something. Like it was like Paul Togglewinkle. I don't think it was this guy's name, but like
I'm pretty sure it's not this guy's name.
no, Paul Bettany. That's a cool British name, but like whoever the guy is with that bitch British name, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can gauge his acting on that.
I would fucking kill myself to watch this movie twice.
You don't want to see Solo? You only want to see Solo?
Yeah. I only want to see it,
Once.
Uno.
That's
the Spanish word, I think.
That is the Spanish word.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco,
Cuatro, cinco, seis.
What
Give
is...
it to me, baby.
I've never taken Spanish in my entire life.
I took 2 years of Spanish, and they both sucked.
I took Latin, and I fucking failed that. And then when I was about to move, and when I was supposed to retake it and supposed to move, I literally, like, the final day, I just, like, went up to my Latin teachers and said, fuck you. And it's like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm leaving. That's the most epic shit feeling in the world, where like you get to be like on your final day.
Saying fuck you to your Latin teacher
who
doesn't care that you're leaving?
No, like any teacher is like, you're fucking moving, so like what are they gonna do? I just like write a note saying like, I fucking hate you. I hope you get hit by stray bullets. Die. I didn't do that. But like, you know, it's fun when you get to like tell this not minimum wage, like hard-working teacher that she's terrible. Some of them need to. Fuck them. But, like, I don't know. That's the best when you're, like, 15 and you're really angry.